Missed too many conversations with your old hearing aids? Constantly changing those tiny batteries drive you nuts? And you paid how much? It's time to get Zounds, the rechargeable hearing aid that eliminates up to 90% of unwanted noise at less than half the price of other premium brands. Contact the hearing professionals at Zounds Hearing today for a free hearing test and get Zounds, hearing aids worth wearing.
And welcome back. We have a guest on today, Ken Post from Zounds Hearing. And I was asking him right before we got on about the company itself. So tell me about Zounds. And we know we have one locally here in Laguna Hills, but it's actually, they have many across the country, right?
Right. We have 130 stores across the country. I say we, I'm just one of the store owners as a franchisee, and the corporate is in the Tempe, Phoenix, Arizona area. So there's a lot of stores, but there's in that particular area, and there's stores all the way across the country.
Okay. How did you get into this business? Your background is engineering, right? Electrical engineering?
Yeah. I worked in the business for 39 years as an electrical engineer, design, software, hardware, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something that would help people more directly than working in engineering. And when I found out about the Zounds hearing aid, I looked into it and looked at all the technology they put in there to make the hearing aids work well. I saw my mom, she's 89 years old, I saw her struggle with her hearing aids, always fiddling with the sound and having feedback and all kinds of problems, and trying to change the batteries with her 89-year-old hands was. So when I saw what Zounds had done and they solved the problems, the hearing aid automatically adjusts the volume. It has 5 processors in this little tiny hearing aid, and one of them cuts the feedback out. And then there's a lot of people that wear hearing aids have trouble where it's noisy. And we have technology in there that will focus the sound on the person in front of you. And if you're in a noisy restaurant, a lot of times in a hearing aids, they hear the person behind them louder than the person in front of them. So we've solved those problems with the hearing aid. So I was really impressed with how they had solved the problems I'd seen my mom go through.
And how do they compare to different brands that are out there? Because there's many different brands.
There's a whole spectrum of pricing, and what you'll find with us is we have the features. In fact, we've invented some of the features that they've copied, and we've copied some of the. We all have a lot of the similar features, but the high-end brands that cost $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for a pair, we have those same features at $2,000 to $3,000 for a pair. So we have features that make the hearing aids really good in all kinds of environments, but our pricing makes it affordable, so someone like my mom can afford it.
Is there one company that makes Zounds? We know that your company, that the store is called Zounds. The hearing aid is called Zounds too? It's all one and the same, and
yes,
right?
We're a franchise, so I own the store, and the corporate part makes the hearing aids. They actually developed the hearing aids. The owner of the corporate, his daughter went deaf at about 2 because of a virus, and he couldn't find a good hearing aid for her. So he was an engineer, he worked in that kind of area, and he was dedicated to find something that would work for her. And it was great having someone that close to be able to develop for, because he knew firsthand, here's the problems with these, here's what I need to solve, and he went diligently and solve the problems people have with hearing aids.
Now, being that your background is electrical engineering, what kind of work did you do, and how does that kind of carry over to what you do now?
I don't know how much it carries over, other than it was easier for me to evaluate it, because I understood the technical parts, which no one else has to understand. When you wear them, you turn them on, they work. But for someone to understand, oh, here's why, here's the pieces why, and here's why it's such a superior hearing aid, it was easy for me to look at and go, oh, I understand. I could talk to the engineers there, and I have, about what they've done, and I was really excited when I talked to them and saw, wow, they've really put a lot of technology to make these things work well.
You mentioned just a few minutes ago about your mom and having to change batteries in the hearing aid. How often do these need to be changed, and how are they done?
Okay, the batteries, basically when you buy the hearing aid, you get a charger. So you take them out at night, put them in the charger, put them on in the morning, they'll last 16 to 20 hours on a charge. So that's basically the whole day on a charge.
Okay.
So after a year to year and a half, the batteries from being charged and discharged will get weak. So when you get to the end of the day and you get a little beep in your ear, you go, oh, the batteries must need to be changed. You bring them into us, we change them out for free. So for the life of the hearing aid, we'll put in free batteries for you.
Oh, that's great. That's really neat. It makes it a lot easier, and you don't have to worry about that. Do they just plug in, or are they done where they sit on one of those magnetic charging pads?
There's a device, the charger device, and they kind of slip into, they're very easy because there's a place they just slip right into, so it's hard, you can't get them off. And we also have a little remote for it also that slips into the same charger, so it's all in one little place.
Very good. What is a possibility of somebody kind of test driving these hearing aids? They want to see if they're right for them.
We have, we keep them in stock, which is unusual for a lot of the hearing aid places. So we'll give you a free hearing aid test. So we evaluate your hearing, but at the same time we're seeing where your weaknesses are, and it goes into a computer, and that is actually used to program the aid. So we'll get an aid, we program it for you, we fit it to your ears, we put it on you, we'll take you outside where it's noisy, you can hear them, we can take you over to a noisy restaurant, you can actually get a chance to listen to them and see how much better they are, and then you can make a decision whether you want to buy them at that point.
Okay. Do you work with the different insurance agencies? That's a question that obviously the people hear. Many of them are on Medicare, Medicare Advantage programs, those type of things.
We work with them in that we'll help you get the forms filled out for them. We don't have anybody we work directly with, but we'll help you get the forms filled out. We know the codes that have to go into the forms so that you can get reimbursed for the hearing aids.
All right, very good. You're located in Laguna Hills. Where exactly?
We're on Lake Forest Drive. Basically, everyone knows where that Coco's is on Lake Forest at the 5 freeway. We're right behind that Coco's.
Okay, what are your hours of operation there?
We're Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Okay, and somebody can just come by anytime they want. You have the way you were saying, you have a lot of these in stock, and you have different, I guess, different configuration, different model sizes.
Right, we have all the pieces that have to go to fit different size ears and whatnot. So yeah, we have all that stuff's kept in stock, but we do have, it takes a couple hours. So if you happen to walk in and we have a free spot, no problem. But we encourage people to call in and make an appointment so that we know that time, that 2 hours is blocked off for you.
Okay.
And because you could
that
come in,
sense.
someone's busy, we won't be able to help you. But if we're plenty happy to help you if there's a free spot when you walk in.
All right, and you can see the numbers on the screen there, 949, of course, 215-9100. I didn't put down your email address, if that's okay, if somebody can email you?
Sure.
Okay, very easy, ken@zounds.lagunahills.com. You can remember that pretty easily, ken@zounds.lagunahills.com. Sounds like a very interesting product. I like the charging part of that. You don't have to change the batteries every week or whatever.
Week or two,
whatever it usually is. Very nice. Ken, thank you. It was nice to meet you. And again, as he said, they're right over, you know where the Coco's is, on Lake Forest. Call for an appointment. It's always a good idea. That way you know, as Ken said, your time is blocked off and you're not standing around waiting. Nice to meet you, sir. We'll be right back.
Missed too many conversations with your old hearing aids? Constantly changing those tiny batteries drive you nuts? And you paid how much? It's time to get Zounds, the rechargeable hearing aid that eliminates up to 90% of unwanted noise at less than half the price of other premium brands. Contact the hearing professionals at Zounds Hearing today for a free hearing test and get Zounds, hearing aids worth wearing.